Pittsburgh Steelers fans, thanks for joining us for another Friday night episode of the Homies. We thank you all for being here and joining us. Running a little late. I take accountability for that. I was trying to get something else ready, podcast related, and it's all on me. So for myself, I'm going to give myself the big 5. So we starting off hot already, but we're not only starting off that hot, we're starting off this hot too.
No Diddy. No Diddy.
You got to chill.
Any one of you care to explain who that's for?
Yo. I think it's the second time in the past 3 or 4 weeks after came out with something. I know she didn't mean it the way it came out, but she said, B-Dirt, I love how you didn't eat anyone out. Say what? Friday starting right off the bat. Oh, okay. She says, I meant rat. Okay, well, you meant rat, but that's not what you said.
No Diddy. No Diddy.
After you get the first one of the evening, I'm sure there's much more to come considering Paige's on the show.
Listen, we in the chat, we love you, chat fam. Let's make sure we dot our I's, cross our T's. We don't want any typos like that. It can go sideways with those typos.
So salute to After the chat general. Yeah. Fellas, what's happening, man? Paige, what's going on, bro?
Nothing too much from my side. Just getting ready to watch some football this weekend. Another 5 highly contested, very, we wait games we've waited for all year, right? Can't wait.
Well, we've seen them all. I mean, in every matchup a rematch. No, the Commanders of Detroit not a rematch.
Nope. But the stakes are different, so it's a new game.
It's a new game. You're right. But other than that, your week being good. You still working out of the state.
No, I'm back home. I'm in Atlanta.
Okay. The dirty,
very dirty.
B Dirt, what's up, man? What's up with you, bro?
Ooh, we've been fighting the bug in our house.
Really?
Yeah, been a little under the weather, man. On Wednesday, running through the jungle was a 2-man game. A 2-man game.
You missed?
I did miss. Yeah, Justin and Tim held it down over there. Man, it was bad. And unfortunately, I gave it to my lovely bride to be, and she's been struggling with it as well. So it forced it forced the whole week's worth of work into 3 days, which has been a little bit rough as well. And as you can see, been busy getting some merch together again. Got some Pay Dirt merch now. Got the new era performance long sleeves. Got the flex fit. Got the new flag. And I realized when doing so that I needed to get the recovery finished on the homies merch email, and I did that, and I have a couple of things that I owe people still. I'm going to be putting those orders in. Tate, I know I owe you a few things, so I'm going to get those out ASAP.
Okay, and we were trying to remember two more homie shirts we owe.
I got them. I got them in the back. Afton, Father, and there's one more.
One more. All right.
I got it on the email. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. There it is. John Edberg.
Oh,
that's who it is.
Okay, yeah. So
I got his size and color scheme. Got it all back there. But that email got shut off on me because I did not remember what I put it as. So I had some serious issues.
Yeah, but we're gonna try and get those shirts out to everybody who has one coming, who has a shirt on the way. No Diddy myself. But
hey, Tate, you might want to refresh yours. I think you might be a smaller size than what you ordered a couple months ago.
Oh yeah, let me try my other one. If that one still fits, I haven't worn it in a couple months. We'll see. Yeah, man, getting the kidney. Man, who knew it helped you lose weight? I guess because I go to the restroom so much nowadays. It does just doesn't sit and turn into bloat until you go to dialysis. It actually, you get rid of it.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man. So shout out to everybody in the live chat. We certainly appreciate you for joining us, as I said or meant to say before we got the train off the tracks with Afton's comment, among other things.
I forgot. This is the special edition end of the year. End of the year 2024 pay dirt hat here.
Let me check it out.
Yeah. Right there.
Wee boy.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, Wee boy. Yeah, I ain't heard of this.
Right. That's right.
I remember Wee boy. Yeah. This
is a Wee boy edition.
You still hold the title?
All right, still holding the title. Back to back, Jack.
Okay. But yeah, man. So thank you everyone for rocking with us. We got a super chat from Claude Bishop already.
All right, our first super chat. I like it.
You could be anywhere, but you choose to be here with us, and we certainly appreciate you all. We're gonna read Claude's super chat real quick and address it. Then we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back and get into the AFC North, and we're under reconstruction. We're gonna let Pay talk about the Ravens and the playoff preview of that game. We're gonna talk about the Steelers and the moves they need to take. B. Dirk's gonna talk about the Bengals and what he'd like to see for 2025, and we'll talk about the Browns. I mean, I think we all probably have something to say about the Browns. That situation, we're kind of bigger mess than anyone has in the AFC North. So we'll talk about that.
The Bengals need to do. You're gonna have to extend the show.
I mean, keep it under 5-6 minutes, man. Just give the home run hitter topics.
All right.
Cliff
notes. I got it.
Yeah, cliff notes.
We gotta get Claude his super chat out here, man.
Yeah, okay.
Claude said, Pay, I will congratulate you on your Ratbirds embarrassing my Steelers, but you have 100 teams. But congrats anyways.
You got anything to say to the governor, Pay?
You're incorrect, but you are correct. Some team did get embarrassed last weekend, and it wasn't a team in black and purple. The other thing you're just incorrect about.
Why is he incorrect? I mean, you like the Bears, right?
I am a fan of the Bears.
That's
two. The Ravens?
I represent the Ravens for this show. We've been over this, guys.
Are you rooting for the Ravens?
Do you have a soft spot for the Ravens?
Well, my favorite player in the league plays for the Ravens.
Yeah. See, I'm a Bengals fan, but I also root for the Lions because they're in it. Like it's the same thing. It's an NFC and an AFC team. I have a kind of a soft spot for the city of Detroit anyway.
Yeah, I really got a soft spot for Detroit too. I spent a large part of my childhood every other long weekend in Detroit. When my mom was, my stepfather lived and was from Detroit. You know, B. Dirt, he worked at General Dynamics up in Detroit. My mom worked at the Lima, so they met through work and got married. It was one of those long distance marriages where he'd come to Lima every other weekend and we go to Detroit every other weekend. So yeah, that was a thing for about 5 or 6 years.
And my dad was Ford Motor Company for 33.
A long time. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. Hey, and like B Dirt, I meant to say also, you said Detroit. Now, for the past couple, 2-3 years we've been doing the show. When it's time to pick, what do I say?
Detroit versus everybody.
Detroit versus everybody. I mean, I'm not a Detroit fan, but I root for the city because of my connection to it. And, the Lions had been lovable losers. Now they're winning like them. It's good to see them good, right? But I think with this one, I'm going for the Commanders. 1, I'm in D.C. 2, I really like Jaden Daniels. And, they haven't had a Super Bowl win. Well, the Lions have never had a Super Bowl win. The Commanders haven't had one since like 92-ish. It's been almost 30-some years.
I think 91.
91? You could be right.
I think it was 91. I remember the last time they were in the NFC Championship game, they played the Lions as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
that was 91.
Okay.
They have 2 playoff wins in the past 20 years. One of them was last week.
Yeah, they beat Tampa Bay in 2005, I think. And they won this one the other day. Their last win was in Tampa Bay. I think that was the game Sean Taylor spit in somebody's face.
Oh, man. Tim, shot fired over here by Tim Lyons. He said, "Where's G? Lost in McDonald's drive-thru?"
Oh, how did you get lost there, though?
Oh.
He might not be in McDonald's, but he's somewhere having a business dinner. And I think he's gonna make it for OT. So he will join us this evening, just not right now out the gate.
Let me tell you something. I'm so pissed off at this business dinner of Big G's.
Yeah, you've been going at him in the chat, man. You said you better bring a note from your supervisor and all kinds of stuff.
A notarized note from your supervisor explaining why he needed to have you at front and center at was it Cracker Barrel or Cheesecake Factory? All right, big fine.
Definitely a big fine on me.
Yeah, that's a big fine.
I was like, whoa.
That's a huge fine. Because why is it so loud?
Because I'm old.
I'm surprised it's not the Rotary's ringer.
Well, that is that, isn't it? The ring?
No, that was the stand. That's the standard iPhone ring. I'm surprised it's not the Rotary from the 60s or whatever.
I thought that's yeah. Okay. Can you get that?
What you want to download that?
Yeah, I want that ringtone, man.
Oh, he caught me off guard, man. I start coughing.
Might as well just go to
super chat. Then we're gonna take the quick break and go ahead and get started again from the governor, the homie Claude Bishop in the building. Governor Bishop.
It's obvious pay that Big G don't want that smoke. Oh yeah. I was very upset because we have a theme that we do the week after the Steelers are eliminated from the playoffs, and I was hoping that we have 3 years in a row of running that same thing. But Big G's not here, so he can't run interference this time.
On what though? What's the thing?
You all don't talk football at all. You all talk off season and what players need to go. I'm like, hey, ain't there football still playing? Ain't the Bengals still playing? Ain't the Ravens still playing?
This is the AFC North show. We gotta get representation. I see,
and that's exactly what I'm saying. There'll be no representation
on your NFC North show. I know the Bears didn't do nothing.
You miss everything I said.
It's
an AFC North show. We talk all Steelers off season. Each time as soon as they get eliminated, all off season. Bengals still be playing, Ravens still be playing. Don't talk about none of those things. None of them games coming up. I knew he was gonna do the exact same thing this year, but G's not here to flap his gums in for 45 minutes.
We had to talk about him last year because
we didn't.
He made the playoffs.
I promise you, go back to the episode.
The Ravens and the Bengals.
I promise you, go back to the episode. Didn't talk. I sat here the whole hour, we just did like this.
Well, you do that often. I mean, and you irritate.
I can't.
You irritate Mama Darlene every time you do it too.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. Unlike Big G.
All right, man. So we're gonna take a quick break. We're not going anywhere. If you're watching on YouTube, stay with us. We got to pay a few bills and hear from our partners and advertisers on the audio side. But we will be definitely right back after this to talk about reconstruction in the North. And we're back on the homies Friday night. You got your boy, the homie Tate in the building. We got Pate in the building who's going to talk tonight because we definitely got to talk about the matchup between his Ravens, Claude, and the Buffalo Bills. That should be a knockout game. But not the Ravens will knock them out if they do like they did the first meeting they had. But like you guys said, the stakes are different. So let's go ahead and start to get into it, man. Let's go ahead and assess what we think about the Browns. Any of you guys care just to jump in and take that little piece of it?
Yeah, I mean, dumpster fire. How about that? We'll start there. I like their coaching staff, but they've hitched their trailer to the worst contract in football history. Deshaun Watson's been a disaster. Now he's re-torn his Achilles, so he's out for the entire next season, which gives them a window, I think, to go ahead and draft. I've seen reports that he wasn't wearing a boot, and there might be some way of trying to get out of that contract. I don't think that'll fly. My first gut reaction to that. But, I think they're probably going to end up drafting a quarterback with a second overall pick. I would guess Cam Ward, early guess.
Because you think he's going to go second.
I think he's going to go second, but to be continued. We got a lot of measurements and draft analysis and meetings that have to happen. But either way, I think they're looking at a quarterback. I think they're looking to probably trade some major pieces and start the rebuilding process for the 73rd time in, 75 years, whatever it's been.
Wow. Okay. So quarterback is needed. They're kind of a lightweight mess, and I'm not one to talk because I feel like the Steelers are a mess right now too. Hey, what are your thoughts? But they make the playoff mess. Pay I don't remember the last time the Bears made the playoffs. Was it with the
I don't know why we keep talking about NFC teams or the AFC show, but go on.
Because of how you act, man. You act like, yeah, my team, man. We talk about my team. Your team didn't make it.
I reacted to what was said.
Hey,
say anything about my team.
Your thoughts on Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, the GM and the head coach?
Well, when we brought the Browns up, I thought we was going to talk about that bombshell report from the Athletic this week.
Go ahead and get into it.
In which they were discussing just all the ways that Deshaun Watson failed the team, did not understand the assignment. Not only that he had his off the field life is just in flux and bringing the whole room down, bringing the vibe down. It's that he doesn't even understand the playbook, and all the linemen and all the receivers, they all, to be fair, they when they were asked, they kept their names off of it. They, undisclosed teammate A, undisclosed teammate B says, well, the play call for an 8-step drop, he's dropping back 5-6 steps, and that's why he's getting sacked, because we don't expect him to be there, and yet here he is. He's missing wide open guys in out there in coverage. When we go to film, Stefanski's not, holding him accountable. But when he gets hurt, Jameis Winston out there, he's holding him accountable. I don't know why he's not holding Deshaun Watson accountable. So that was pretty much all that was. It did make note that because of his contract issue.
Can I ask you a question about that real quick? You said he held Jameis Winston accountable, right?
Right.
Don't you think the mandate to play Deshaun Watson is coming from above his head though, because all the money?
Of course, you got to play him. I mean, you've given him 250 million.
So I'm saying I give Stefanski a pass on that.
Playing him and coaching him is two different things.
Exactly.
Say it again.
Playing him and coaching him is two different things.
Okay.
He's saying hold him accountable when he's not dropping back on an 8.
You can call him a bum. Drop. You can call him a bum and still start him. But not keep starting him and not call him a bum for being a bum. That's unexcusable.
Right. Okay, I get it. I thought you just
especially when they brought Flacco in, and then he went out there and threw 300-yard passes. Yeah, 300-yard games 4 straight times, and Deshaun Watson, he did that in 19 games.
Yeah, and Jameis had some really good games too, especially from opening up the offense standpoint. Yeah, Jameis he gonna throw some picks, but he gonna move the offense and throw some tubs too, though.
He'll complete almost every pass. Just don't know if it's gonna be your team or not.
True indeed.
Okay, so my quick thoughts on the Browns. I'll just ask you guys. We say full total reboot. So we talk about trading some major assets they should be looking into, you think?
They have the number 2 draft pick. I don't think they need to trade anybody. I'm not sure of their cap situation right now. I would think it's not that good because they still got Deshaun Watson bloated contract on the books. But as long as you hold that number 2, I mean, you got the second to the best hand, right?
Right.
I do think they're going to.
You got Myles Garrett once out.
No, he hasn't said that. I've watched all of Hard Knocks. He said emphatically from his own mouth that he wants to retire a Brown.
I heard that from Andrew Barrett. I didn't hear it from Myles Garrett, but I haven't watched all the Hard Knocks. We started that big losing streak doing Hard Knocks. I just had enough of it.
Well, you won one game during Hard Knocks. You beat the Browns.
Yeah, we beat the Bengals too. That was going into Hard Knocks.
Right.
That was the first episode. Yeah, okay. But yeah, so no, I think
before we come off of that, I want to come back to that quarterback thing that you said about Cam Ward. I do think they're going to end up overdrafting a quarterback just because of their situation, right? Cam Ward, from what I understand, he's got small hands for a quarterback.
So is Joe Burrow.
Yeah. So I mean, watch out for the red flags. Watch out for the overdrafts. We know teams have done that in this division.
I don't think it's an overdraft because they need a quarterback. They need a quarterback, and if they didn't take him, somebody else would try. They could trade him. Somebody else would move to 2 and take the same guy. Well, they're not just overdrafting because they need a quarterback. Cam Ward's gonna go 1 or 2. The question is,
overdraft
you hit mute,
is a great segue into the Bengals if you want to let me run that into here.
Okay,
because
you can go ahead and go there.
Overdraft is basically based on position value a lot of times versus need for the need for the team, right? So do you reach a little bit and take somebody ahead of where you think they should be drafted at because they fit the need for your team or not? I have a lot of guys like right now in the Cincinnati Bengals world. They're just saying, take the best available, take the best splash player, take the best whatever. But to me, it's take the best fit and splash, right? If there's someone that's hands above, if you're looking for a defensive tackle, but there's a defensive end that you know is going to be a game record that fell to you, okay, take him. If he's rated up your board way before you didn't think it was going to be there any chance, fine. But look at what the Detroit Lions did, right? I was one of those guys questioning why they took Campbell where they took him, why they took Jahmyr Gibbs where they took him. There's a lot of people saying that they could have waited, probably got him in the second round. They take him in the first round. But they had needs. They addressed needs with the best available player at their needs, and it has worked out, and they instantly had impact players. Where I've watched the Bengals draft, defensive ends and sit them behind starters to develop. When you're paying guys $50 million to a quarterback, probably close to $40 million for a wide receiver, probably another $25 million for a defensive end, probably another $26, $27 million for another wide receiver. You've got to start looking at guys can be instant impact on rookie contracts.
Agreed.
Quarterbacks are doing it now. You have to trust your eyes and your scouting and everything. And I think part of the issue is the Bengals don't have a legitimate deep scouting department. They need to invest in that for the way that they're going to have their team set up for the next 4 or 5 years. You have to hit the draft right. You have to invest more into scouting and really get impact players that are going to be there year 1, year 2.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. Keep ties to church.
So as far as the Bengals go, specifically, 31st ranked rush defense, 29th, I think, or 30th overall. They were right back and forth. As far as scoring goes, there's a lot of help they need on defense. I think we need some aggressive players. I think we need I'd like to see some violence in that linebacker position. There's going to be a bunch of cuts that are going to take a lot of cap room. We're going to have a lot of availability to sign some players, bring some players in, and pay some of our guys. Rankins is going to come off the books. Pratt probably gets cut. Zach Moss is gone. I think Geno Stone's probably gone. So I think you're going to see a lot of shakeup over there. And it all is based upon getting a defensive coordinator in first. And right now they've narrowed it down to 2 leading candidates. Al Golden, the defensive coordinator for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator from the Raiders. He's also been with the Dolphins and Giants as DC. Basically 1-year stints there, 2 years for the Giants. But my favorite thing about him, because of the way they did their thing, was New England 09 to 15. He was there as a defensive line coach, a linebackers coach, started as a tight ends coach for one season. So Patrick Graham's 45 years old, played football at Yale.
He's the Raiders DC, right?
He's the Raiders DC right now, yes.
Okay.
I kind of like him right now as far as the top 2 they've talked about. Major said Salah to DC to the Bengals. Listen, I wouldn't mind having Salah, but I also don't think you'd have him very long. He's already interviewing for head coaching jobs right now. So I think he's probably going to get a head coaching job. That's my take on it.
Is he healed? Is he healed? I don't like that you go right back into relationships this soon after getting out of a disastrous, tumultuous, and toxic relationship. A-Rod did a number on him. He needs to take a break. He needs to seek therapy.
You can make that argument, but you can also make the argument that he knew it wasn't his fault. You know what I mean? That's the other argument. Like, he probably just walked back in, took a nice cold shower, and was like, whew, thank goodness I'm rid of that headache.
I like that approach, B-Dirt. Sometimes you just got to get back out there, hit the streets, get back underneath somebody, get back underneath another team, and, just work it out, pump it out.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So anything else with the Bengals? I mean, you guys that like, if you're picking, which way you leaning with T. Higgins?
I don't think I saved it. There's a Bengals insider that said they have a 90% feeling from talks they've had with the team and agents that Jamar, Trey Hendrickson, and T. Higgins will all sign before the end of February.
I hear Green Bay is pushing their chips to the center for T. Higgins. Have you heard that?
I have heard that. Doesn't bother me. One of the things that you can find clips out there in the internet readily available is them talking about even with the Steelers game on Hard Knocks, talking about not liking to play in snow, not like to play in that weather. I don't see Green Bay being the place that he's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wrong before.
And this is another one of those hard knock things. T. Higgins said from his mouth he wants to stay in Cincinnati. He said he'll take a pay cut.
Yes. And that's the reason why I said this. If you guys listen to the show, I said it 6 weeks ago when Big G was ranting and raving that T. Higgins was going to be a Steeler, that he switched his agent and he was doing everything he could, and everybody was doing everything he could to get him to re-sign with the Bengals. The Bengals are cutting dead weight, and this is something they don't normally do. They'll normally, like, if Pratt has $10.5 million owed to him for this next year, if it's going to carry a $3 million dead cap, the Bengals don't pay dead cap money. They just let you play it out. And that's just been their MO for a long time. This is different. Things are changing because not only is it changing because of Joe Burrow, and I really believe that, but also, the Blackburn family, it's the daughters and their husbands are now more involved than just Mike Brown. So you're seeing a shift in what they do. It's been Paul Brown Stadium for years. 2 years ago, they switched it over and got the rights to name it Paycor Stadium. They sold those. They're doing things like professional, in a much more professional and aggressive manner. So I think they're going to try and get them signed. Is there a chance they don't? Always. There's a chance somebody just makes him an offer he can't refuse. But I think worst case scenario, if that's the way it's going to go, and he's going to go that route, I think they would probably, and he may even do this because of, it seems like everything's in good faith right now, but I would tag him and then trade him. But you can tag him one more time.
Right. Okay. Well, right now we're going to go ahead and take our second break. Then we'll come back and I can probably get into the Steelers, or we'll let Pay talk about his Ravens and their game this weekend. Or do we just want to preview and talk about the game on OT?
I mean, we could do either or. You're the captain. You run it how you want to. I think we should just name this episode Big G's incorrect gum flapping.
Okay. So hey, we're about to take a quick break. If you're watching on YouTube, you know the drill. We're not going anywhere. If you listen on audio, wherever you listen to audio podcasts, we have to pay a few bills here from our partners and advertisers. And we'll be right back after these messages from those partners. And we're back on the homies, block 2, the B block. We'll go ahead and jump in to the Ravens. Pay. The Ravens may have played, I know, the best game I've ever seen them play against Pittsburgh their last game. Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry were unstoppable. They were without Zay Flowers. He could be back this week against Buffalo. What have you heard about that?
He's listed as doubtful.
Doubtful.
Hasn't practiced all week.
Hasn't practiced. Oh, I thought he was limited in one of the days, but okay. So, but yeah, I mean, the way they beat Buffalo, I think Buffalo's biggest challenge is against the run. And if they play just like they played against us, I think they'll beat Buffalo by 10 points, man. What are your thoughts on the Ravens season thus far, Pay? What are your thoughts on this game this Sunday? It's the primetime Sunday game, 6:30 kickoff. Yeah. Buffalo and Josh Allen and Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. So your thoughts, Pay? Go ahead and just get into it, man.
So the season, the first part of that question, the thoughts on the season at large, I remember saying it all off in the offseason. Big G, again, we can rename this episode Big G's incorrect gum flapping.
Or bloviating.
Just wrong bloviates, right? I told him Geno Stone, Patrick Queen, and all the rest of the guys that the Ravens lost. I don't think they're not key guys. They're just guys. They're not going to be felt by the Ravens for their losses are going to be felt for a long time, right? And that's proven to be so far correct. The Ravens, they knew what they were doing. They as an organization, they have a plan and they stick to it. They have a standard, and they understand what is called for, what they need to do on that gridiron. The season has been one of a pleasant surprise. The one question mark that I shared with you all was their offensive line. They had a massive O-line reconstruction in the offseason, and it's been probably top 5 O-line in the NFL. I won't say number 1, but it's top 5. You can argue top 3. Lamar doesn't get touched at all. They blocked for a running back who almost just barely missed 2,000 yards. So that's crazy. I think total the team rushed for almost 3,000 yards. So that's crazy. That's crazy talk. Who does that in modern NFL? This season has been nothing but spectacular. It's not as many wins as the last season, but they still got to the same spot. They're in a division round. They won the division. So it's pretty much is leading into the same way that they led into they ended up last season. Now, going into this playoffs, going into this game right here, this is probably one of the biggest NFL games in recent history. You have the 2 top MVP candidates meeting up in the playoffs before the votes have been announced, even though some votes have been publicly announced, and I haven't heard one person publicly say they voted for Josh. And if the AFC and if the all pro votes matter for anything, then then I think is a runaway favorite for Mr. Lamar. In any case for that, the only downside of this game is that the narrative on both of these quarterbacks is going to continue. Like, you can't win the big one. Whoever loses, which it sucks, but it is sports, right? It's what we do in sports. It's crazy how this goes on. Now, so you got on one side, as you said, the Baltimore Ravens playing the best ball they've played all season. Buffalo, they've been playing great ball all season as well, especially in the last month and a half. It is a heavyweight match of ultimate proportion. You guys, it's like Ali versus Foreman. That's really what this is, because it's got 2 guys in their prime, both creative players. And you all played Madden before. I don't know. Well, maybe you haven't. But back in the day, when I played video games, when you created a player, Josh Allen's the type of quarterback you created. Lamar Jackson's the type of quarterback you created. These guys are mutants, and whoever wins, it's going to be you're going to end up having to go see Pat again. Pat is the ultimate gate holder. He's the wizard at the end of the yellow brick road. And I feel like this is the season that they finally knock him over and achieve that ultimate greatness.
Either one.
Either one.
So I was going to ask, whoever wins this game, you think they get past Kansas City? I mean, I'm tired of Kansas City, so I'm actually rooting for Houston and CJ Stroud. But you said creative player pay, and you created those guys back in the day. You'd have John Elway and Lamar Jackson in their primes, compared to Josh Allen. I mean, John Elway and Michael Vick in their prime is like equating to Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson right now.
I can see that. The modes are very similar.
Right.
But yeah. I think what's crazy is Baltimore has the ultimate wild card in Derrick Henry. B Dirt, as he reminded me on Pay Dirt. As a matter of fact, B Dirt, you are looking very handsome today, man. I don't know what you got going on differently, but something about you is very, very swagged out. I like it.
Speaking of Pay Dirt.
So B Dirt remind me on Pay Dirt that playoff weather is a thing. He told me that game time temperature is going to be in the low 30s, and I scoffed it off. I said, 30s is not cold. 3 inches of snow is not a lot of snow. They can, that's irrelevant. I've been hearing today it's going to be close to below 0.
That's in Buffalo,
right? In Buffalo,
the 3 inches in the 20s was in Philly.
Okay, I heard it. I was confusing it wrong.
Yep,
Buffalo below 0. Coldest game ever Lamar is going to play in. He's a Florida kid. So this is nothing.
He plays with Baltimore, though.
Yeah, but Baltimore, see, this is another one of my soft spots. I love Baltimore. It's one of my favorite cities. I've been there. Out of all the cities I've traveled to the most, St. Louis is probably be number 1, and then Baltimore is probably number 2. I've been to Baltimore at least 10 times. I love Baltimore. Baltimore don't get that cold. below 0 is a different type of beast.
Below 0 is a different type of cold. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, for a Florida kid, he gonna feel that. So it's nut cutting time for Lamar, and that's why I think that wild card and Derrick Henry is going to play very, very prominent.
He's a Florida kid too.
Yeah, but he, for a running back, who actually delivers the pain,
causes pain. Yeah.
That's a little different. For somebody that's got for a wide receiver that's playing in the cold for the first time, a quarterback playing in the cold for the first time, a defensive player playing in the cold for the first time, is different. A running back that's going to pound on you, no Diddy, Freaky Friday.
Whoa.
It's a different type of beast. We're gonna find out what these teams are made of midway through the third quarter, because that's when it's gonna start to hurt.
Okay. So we'll give our predictions on OT, but I like that, and
And just so you know, Tate, I did set it up so we can pick each game.
Okay.
We can each pick each game.
Fair enough. All right, so let me jump into the Steelers from a Steeler fan perspective. Terrible, the worst performance last week against Baltimore. Baltimore rushed for 299 yards. The offense was terrible. It's a lot of calls to fire Mike Tomlin. I can see the calls and why many fans would say that. But what I do think is, if you fire Mike Tomlin, who do you get? You just rolling the dice and taking a shot. You don't know who you're gonna get, what's gonna happen. There are no guarantees. We know we got a solid, good coach, probably a first ballot Hall of Famer head coach. Now things do sometimes get stale. Now, do I want Mike Tomlin fired? No, I didn't. Do I think Mike Tomlin needs to make big changes in the way he schematically game plans and what's the plan he has? For years in his early part of his career, that worked. Play defense, keep the game close. It's a different NFL now. So the offense, I believe the first 3 drives, they got 1 first down. Other than that, it was 3 and out after they got the first down, and 3 and out the next series, and 3 and out the next series. You can't keep starting games like that, especially playoff games. They've started all their last playoff games, this playoff game losing streak. They start out getting hammered. And I don't mean drinking. This past week it was 21-0. Baltimore. I mean, the game was in deep poop emoji before the game even got started. 21-0 going to halftime. That defense, when the Steelers had a chance, they got the ball back. It was 21-7. They got the ball back. They didn't score. They could have made it 21-14 because they stopped the Ravens and made it a 1-score game. But then they let Derrick Henry go to the house from like 45, 50 yards out. Now we're looking at 28-7 again. And from there, it was over. Pay, I was hoping for a garbage touchdown the whole time because I bet the Steelers would get at least 20, and it didn't happen. So I lost. Not only did I lose the game bet to pay, I lost the under 20 bet to pay. So I had to pay. But yeah, man. So I think some of the changes that need to be made in Pittsburgh. First, the quarterback. First on the coaching staff, you get rid of Terrell Austin. Shout out to the homie Claude, who's been saying that forever. Terrell Austin is garbage. Claude, you've got me to agree with you on that now. It's terrible that it took like till week 15, but yeah, Terrell Austin got to go. I think the offensive line coach, Pat Meyer, has to go. He has good young talent. They're not developing. They're not developing as a collective. I think you need to shake that room up. I know a lot of people want to bring back Mike Munchak. Nothing against Munch. He's a great offensive line coach. But I think you want to go younger and more energetic and more passionate at that position. Same thing with defensive coordinator, man. I mean, I agree with B. Dirt. Like he said, Saleh would be a good defensive coordinator for the Bengals. He'd be good for the Steelers too. But like he said, he won't be around long. He's gonna get another coaching opportunity. And it could be, especially if he was to turn around the defense that he coached next year, it'd probably be in 26. That quick a turnaround.
I agree.
So for D coordinator, I kind of like Pay's boy. Who's your boy, Pay?
Eberflus.
Eberflus. There you go, B Dirt.
Eberflus?
Yeah, I like it as a D coordinator. I mean, he can run that side of the ball himself. Arthur Smith will be back. He's not going to get one of the coaching jobs. So he'll be back. And the word on the street is in the Steelers sphere is Arthur Smith and Russ really never got along. Arthur Smith wanted Justin Fields from the beginning. Justin Fields was 4-2. Yeah, the offense, he's not as good a passer as Russell Wilson is right now. Russ has 13 years of experience, and that goes a long way. Justin Fields was winning games, though. I think that matters. I mean, and I say it again. At the very least, Justin Fields can do everything Jalen Hurts can do. You know, everything. So I like them switching to him, building the offense around him and a strong running game. You get a new offensive line coach in there, and you develop the running game. I saw a mock draft for Pittsburgh this week by was Steeler Wire. Yeah, Big G brought it to pump your brakes on Wednesday. They had B Dirt. They had the Steelers taking your boy first, number 78 from Michigan. What's his name?
Kenneth Grant.
Kenneth Grant. Had Grant going in the first round to the Steelers. Do either of you guys know where the Steelers pick? Got to be like 18, 19.
No, that's where the Bengals are. You got to be 20. So there's 14 teams. You'll be about 20.
About 20. Okay. Yeah,
20,
so
21. Hold on a second.
I'm just gonna keep talking. You can tell us. Now they say Grant is a guy. And I like Grant. I like him and the number 55 that played for you guys. B Dirt for Michigan.
Yeah, Bengals are 17th. Pittsburgh Steelers are 21st.
21st. Okay, so yeah. With the second pick, they had the Steelers taking. This tickled Big G's fancy. Had the Steelers taking running back from Ohio State, Quinshawn Judkins. And we will need a running back to pair with Jalen Warren to get
wait. Are you saying Najee's out?
Najee's out.
Oh, yeah, we got the receipt for that. Don't worry. We got you.
Pay said that?
Pay said that, yeah.
Okay,
like
yeah.
a year ago.
You out.
It might. I don't know if that was a bet with Big G or not, but Big G was definitely was opposed to that. Juxtaposed.
Just a guy.
Per usual. Big G opposing just to oppose. But yeah, Najee's going up. And I thought Najee, I probably would be back. I thought he'd have a big season this year. He just doesn't have enough of the explosive. He's a hard runner. He's a good football character guy. And I think he's a solid piece in any locker room that he's in. But I personally got Najee going to Dallas.
That's what Major just said in the chat too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it's a pretty good fit.
Yeah, I think so. They need a running back. I don't think he gets. I mean, franchise tag for running back is like 12 or 13 million.
Might be lower than that.
Might be like 10, 9 or 10. You might be right. But yeah,
I don't know, man. I saw a mock draft with Ashton Genty going to Dallas. I kind of find that intriguing too.
that tracks.
Well, it does track if they want to use like what they pick probably 12 or something.
I think they got to 10th. No, 11th. I think they got 11.
Okay, yeah.
I got it up here.
Like B Dirt said earlier, we wondered why the Lions drafted Gibbs that early in the first round. Well, it works. Mm-hmm. That's position in need. That's a high value running back target. Maybe that's what Dallas does, right? Back to the Steelers. So Tomlin, just CEO, manage the team, manage the players. Don't get your hand in both game plans for offense and defense. Of course, you're the coach. They got to talk to you. You got to talk to your coordinators, but don't handcuff them. Don't put your thumb on things on game day.
I hear that a lot. Like you think he meddles in the offensive coordinating?
Yeah. I think he clearly handcuffed Arthur Smith like I said, Arthur Smith was the hire because they philosophically see the game the same. They want to be physical. They want to, win the battle of attrition. They want to, and Arthur Smith is like that's how Arthur Smith's offense. But I think Arthur Smith would be a little bit more creative if he had Justin Fields play like he wanted to this year, and Tomlin allowed him to do some things he probably wanted to do that he couldn't do because Tomlin said, we're going to play this close to the vest. We're going to limit exposure. Coach T always says, we don't live in our fears. Yes, Mike Tomlin, one of your biggest fans as a coach, as a black man, the way you carry yourself, stand-up guy, take accountability for everything. I respect you, but you do live in your fears, bro. You do. And so so the defense coordinator, offensive line coach, go ahead and get Justin Fields. I've seen articles about Aaron Rodgers as a front runner, bringing Russ back, Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold.
Did I tell you, B?
About what?
A-Rod.
Oh, yeah. No, they better not. Matter of fact, I might change alliances and allegiances if they were to bring in A-Rod.
Hey, hold on. It could be a reunion, though. Think about it. You could bring back Aaron Rodgers over to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then you could bring Mike McCarthy in as the coach, as a Yinzer reunion kind of thing.
Yeah. Hey, be there. Pass. But yeah, offensively, I think you let George Pickens play his last year on a prove it deal. If he gets away for nothing, so be it. He's too talented for you to lose. I'm not saying you pay him. I'm saying you let him play out because he's playing for his contract next year. Maybe he balls out and gets paid somewhere in his 5th year, but you don't trade him. He's a 2nd-round pick. I believe pick like number 52. If you lose him, okay, you lost 2nd-round pick. You'll get a compensation pick for him. So I play with him. I drafted running back. You got to get 2 receivers, maybe 1 in free agency and 1 in the draft to change that room up a little bit. And I think with that, now you're working with something. I'm not saying you're great. I mean, this division is going to be tough again next year. The Bengals will be back. The Ravens aren't going anywhere. I think I'm worried less about the Browns this year coming than I was last year. Going to last year, I mean, they were a playoff team the year before. Now I think they're in total disarray, total dysfunction. So it'll be tough to get into the playoffs next year. But, I mean.
Zach asked if you would ask Miami what they want for Tyreek.
Please don't entertain that.
No, I don't want to entertain that either. He made too much money. He's another AB type diva receiver. He wouldn't be a good example in the locker room.
And he's over the hill.
And he's 30, going to be 31 years old. I don't go there. I'd rather use my 1st-round pick on a receiver and get a 2nd-round defensive lineman than I would rather get AB. The only couple receivers on the market I'd be interested in, honestly, and they cost, but they're proven, is Devontae Adams, who I think will come to you on the cheap. He's like a 2-year bridge to know what George Pickens is going to do. He won't cost as much as T. Higgins, and T. Higgins is the other guy if he leaves Cincinnati. So those are my thoughts on that. And I think if you do all that, Tomlin, takes his handcuffs off, plays copper and takes his handcuffs off. Pittsburgh could be working with something better than they were this year. Not that they'll be great, but they'll be better than they were this year as a collective. Claude told me $2 super chat. Thanks, Claude. I've been going so long. I don't know what I'm putting myself in the matrix for.
When you agreed with him about that Terrion Arnold.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Claude. You want me to come and visit you real quick, man. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like in here. Okay, Claude, I was there, man. Nice seeing everybody. Tim, Claude in the building. Thank you, guys. But yeah, man, so that's my whole thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers as we embark on the 2025 year coming. And that so far is the AFC North under construction for 2025. We'll get into a lot of this stuff as the offseason continues.
Yeah, we got to start pulling permits for the construction.
You did know that Claude had another super chat that
did he know? Where's it at? What do you say? Where's it?
It's the last one. It's the last super chat. Just I don't want to
Okay.
spoil it. Yeah.
It's time for a new head coach. Just admitted, Tate. Okay, Claude, give a super chat and tell us who you get. Who do you get right now, Claude? Just tell me that.
While he's typing that up, I got something to say about that.
Go ahead.
Before the after season press conference from Tomlin, I was ready to blame most of the stuff on Omar Khan. You know, I think a lot of people within that organization, a lot of people in Steelers Nation, they get mesmerized by the black and gold. They overinflate the talent just because they're of the colors they wear. If you took those jerseys off of the 53 men and put them in the colors of, let's say, the Jaguars or fill in the blank, do you think this is would you even say this is a 500 team? Not you wouldn't say it with your chest. You'll probably hem and haw about it, right? I think, but when I saw that press conference when Tomlin was asked a direct question, and Tomlin usually answers direct questions very matter-of-factly, right? They asked him, "Hey, was George Pickens on time for the Christmas game?" And he said, well, you know, I don't know. I gotta do a lot in pregame.
Hey, Paige, stop right there for a second. What he does is he don't put locker room issues out in the public. He has never done that.
That's not true. He's done it before with receivers, with wide receivers.
No, give me.
In fact, when it was, I think it was Le'Veon Bell. When they asked him a bunch of times when Le'Veon Bell was sitting down, he's like, "Hey, what's up, Le'Veon Bell?" He did not shy away. He did not shy away. And we want what did he say? He wanted players, not prisoners, or what's it called? What did he say?
We don't want hostages.
Right. He want hostages. He answers the questions directly.
Volunteers, not hostages.
Right. There you go. This one, he said, I don't know. I'm doing a lot pregame. I have no idea what George Pickens is doing. You're the coach, bro. You're the head coach.
Well, you can believe that he knows, but don't mean he got to tell you.
Well, no, then he can just say that it's nation business. All he had to say was like, you know, I'm not answering the question. But he skirted the question. So to me, it's like, okay, this is now your fourth wide receiver that's fucked around on you. That now you have a problem. I'm sorry, I'm cursing on FFC. I'm thinking I'm on Frustrated Chicago. This is your fourth wide receiver that you have a locker room problem with. And that tells me right there that you now have gotten to that point where maybe what you're preaching in the locker room, no one cares anymore. You've gotten to a point now that you may need another voice in that locker room. Because if Tomlin's not even going to be the Tomlin that you all have known for 16, 17 years, then it's definitely time to entertain the question. And I'm still filibustering for Claude to put the answer up here.
I don't disagree with that, Pay, but I'll tell you, like Arthur Mosel, his podcast. Yeah, there's the X's and O's guys, but there's the coaches that can lead a franchise, the coaches that are leader of men, the coaches that can motivate and that players want to play for. Now, everything you said, I've said he needs to take his handcuffs off his OC, his DC, not living in fear, all those things. He made it work with AB. We don't know what was going in because he didn't let stuff out the locker room. But AB played 9 good years in Pittsburgh under Mike Tomlin.
When AB was out there acting a fool, when AB was going live in the locker room while they was doing post-game meetings, Tomlin let you know we don't do that here. When Juju was TikToking instead of stretching, Tomlin let you know we don't do that here. When Chase Claypool was TikToking and going on runways instead of being on practice on time, he let you know. Pickens show up late and then say whatever he got to say about his confidence in the offense. He just let that go. Like, okay.
He said in the press conference, you missed that part. There's certainly a lot of room for a lot of growth and maturation about Pickens. He said that. And maybe they get off Pickens this offseason. You know, I wouldn't be mad. Like I said, I'd rather see what he has for his last contract year and go from there, and we'll see. But
I think Big G said he crystal balled them to trade Pickens for 2 first rounds, a third, a second, a fourth, and 2 fifths.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what BG was saying.
Oh, Jesus.
No, he said it. He didn't say all that. He said you get the first rounds of BG. You can't get
He
the
always thinks that you're going to get a bigger
Nope.
haul. I mean, just because you're able to pull the wool over the eyes of the Chicago Bears, man, the rest of the league got on.
You're not going to find another Huckleberry this time.
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I said you'd be lucky to get what you got for Chase Claypool. Lucky.
Luck isn't a word. You're probably going to you're going to have to eat that. You probably take it. Somebody will probably give you a Ford for him, maybe, because he does have that big play potential. But this is bigger than just Pickens, right? I mean, I did say that this is a lot of this is starting to get on the timeline, but I'm about I don't know if you guys are tired of seeing it yet, but I think Omar Khan needs to stop shopping at Ross. You got all this money. Go shop at Neiman Marcus. No more bargain shopping. I swear, Tate. If you all are still coming to this offseason, still believing that you're one player away, one quarterback away, I'm just going to sit here and tell you, like, you're not seeing the whole field. This isn't just a quarterback issue.
But
there's a lot of holes you got to fix.
Defense in the NFL. The
You
issue is
you got to lose Hayward. He's retiring.
Who?
No, Hayward signed an extension.
Yeah, he already said extension, and he made first team.
I'm going off what I seen on Hard Knocks. He's saying he don't know.
He's already signed an extension before the season.
He said he don't know.
He'll be back. I watch his podcast today too.
Anyway, you got an expensive defense, but that defense has studs and accountability. When they start playing bad, you heard people say, look, man, the problem is we got 10 guys on the same page. One guy doesn't do his job. It ruins what everybody else is doing. They said that.
Is that JPJ?
Like, they call it out. Like, they don't have that alpha male on the offensive side. They need that alpha male. They need that strong leader on the offensive side of the ball that pulls those guys, reins them in when they need to be reined in, and, cattle prod them when they need cattle prod.
And I think
I somewhat agree. I don't think necessarily a defense being expensive means anything. I think a lot of those guys overpaid.
It doesn't.
Well, you just said they don't have a ton of money to spend on the offensive side of the ball. Was my point to what you were saying.
And they got enough money. They got money to do. But here's the thing: TJ Watt just turned 30. You ain't got too much time to keep playing around.
This is last year. I mean, maybe they're extending, but I don't think that's why I said new defensive coordinator in there. TJ Watt lined up in the same position for all but 8 plays this season. Left side, left rush in, and offensive design schemes to stop him. All season, they didn't move him around, no creativity in the defense.
We have the same thing with Trey Hendrickson. Exact same thing.
Exact same thing with Trey.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I do think, like I said, those changes need to be made. As far as the defense, you have to reallocate some of those resources, financial resources, to the offensive side of the ball, and draft some rookies, make some moves, help make the unit younger, and you go from there. I mean, so we could go another 20 minutes just on this topic. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Shout out to my fam, Tate. What's up, cuz? Thanks for stopping by to say hey. Talking about your Pittsburgh Steelers. See, another Pittsburgh Steelers fan in the family. Pay has a great memory. He pulls up exhibits for arguments. Hey, he does, but I trust B Dirt more because he has receipts. Pages. I went back and watched the episode, and this is what happened. So I got to get more proof with some of the stuff Pay say.
Wait. So if I write it down, it's okay. But if I actually tell you which episode on what day at what time, that's not good enough.
No, not for me, not from you.
AFL 67 says once they get rid of the players that they're definitely going to, the Steelers will have 80 million in cap space. I mean, that's if they clear all that dead weight out. The Bengals are over 100 million once they clear everything out. That's
They only
same
spent
stuff.
they only spent what, $9 million on quarterbacks this season.
I think it might be like between 5 and 6.
Yeah, I mean that's nothing.
Yeah,
But because they got the defense, now
that
they
80 million. If you're going to sign a legit quarterback, you're going to spend half of it on him. Listen, I've heard you say that you're going to sign
which legit quarterback.
That's
Kirk
the thing.
Cousins?
Listen, I've heard you say you're going to re-sign Fields. That's fine. You're not signing Fields for $9 million.
no,
Fields is going to sign for 20 or 25.
Yeah, you signed for me. You signed for a 2-year between 35 and 40. Prove it. By that time, you know if he was the guy, and you plan to get a quarterback for in 26.
I think somebody's going to give Fields 2 for 45.
Okay, if he frivels over that, he's in Pittsburgh. He's going to be the guy. They're going to build offense around him and everything. But maybe he wants the extra $5 million. But he could get that. I can see that. I mean, now Sam Darnold only got $10 million last year to play for the Vikings. He had his best year, so I use that kind of as a blueprint of what Fields needs to do.
Man,
You know what I mean?
that guy cost himself about $20 million a year.
He's going to start for somebody next year, so you can get starter money.
Yeah, but he going to get 30,
He will
35.
get bigger starter money.
But starter money starts at about what, 30,
40.
That's a deal. 30 is a deal for a quarterback a year.
40 is Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he's fine. I don't think he cost himself any money. He still had 35 touchdowns. I mean, for a 14-win team.
I heard the same thing from who said that today. I saw that they think was it one of the Kelsey brothers or somebody that they didn't think Darnold cost himself any money either. But I'd say that this last 2 performances, he looked like New York Jets Sam Darnold. And if you're scared of that, like, oh yeah, we saw some of that still there. He played in a great offense under O'Donnell. He had a top receiving core with Justin Jefferson and Addison. Hawkins is a tight end. He's not going to get paid like a force multiplier. He's not.
Man, Claude Bishop is super chatting it up. He said none of the Steelers' last 3 coaches were head coaching. But I think he had head coaching experience before joining the Steelers, Tate.
And that's true. I mean, Bill Cowher was a special teams guy. I don't remember what Chuck Noll was. That was like before I was born, what he was before he's a Steeler coach. But Claude, who do you get then? That's what I asked earlier in the show. Jump on over, tell us in overtime. We can finish that up right there and get
the Chicago Bears have interviewed 25 people, so maybe one of them.
Who's the front runner there now? You still want to see Ben Johnson?
Well, we can't have him. We can't enter in-face interview with none of the Lions guys until after the season's over. So
right, but that's still out of who's left. That's who you want.
That's not my number 1 and 2. Aaron Glenn and Johnson.
You think Aaron Glenn?
He's my number 1.
He's your number 1?
That's my number 1.
Wow. I don't necessarily believe in Aaron Glenn. I believe his defense was so good because they play out front all the time. I don't think their secondary is that great. I mean, he gets to pin his ears back, and that's the game plan for them because they get up 14, 21, 3 most games.
I don't necessarily care about how the defense performed because I don't even think defense performed all that well under his tenure. I like him because he's a leader. I like him because those guys run through walls for him. And the number 1 thing the Bears need is a culture change.
Okay. Claude said, how about Brian Flores? Is he talking to me or talking to you? I like Brian Flores to the Bears. I like him even better to the Cowboys because they got a defense ready to go. Dak Prescott can kind of handle the offense. I think whoever comes to Dallas keeps who's the kid that's the OC there that was with the Chargers? Kellen Moore. No, he's not in Dallas. He went somewhere else.
Kellen Moore, Jets, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, I think Chicago needs an offensive guy just to help develop. 10 out the last 11 Super Bowls or something was won by offensive head coach. The other one was Bill Belichick. So,
yeah.
Yep.
Kellen Moore's at the Jets. Look at that.
Visit him for a coaching job?
No.
He's offensive coordinator at the Jets.
No. Eagles. I'm sorry. He's at the Eagles now. Green. I was in green.
Right. Well, hey, man, we're about to go ahead and get out of here and get on over to OT. jump in and join us. We're going live right away. B Dirt is manning the ship, is foreman in the show, and we about to get out of here and get right on over to OT. So we'll talk to you guys in about less than 5 minutes over on OT. So until either you come to OT or until next week on the homies, peace and thanks for joining us. Pay, go ahead.
Arrest Brett Favre.